Leo, welcome to your September 2024 little law of attraction horoscope for you. My name is Kelly Lunt. For those of you who are new to me, I'm an intuitive channel and a medium and law of attraction expert. I love helping get you from where you are to where you want to be in the quickest, shortest, fastest, funnest way possible. I channel my spirit guide, George. He loves helping people make money. So without further ado, Leo, let's get into your reading. Okay, it's definitely a love reading, Leo. It's definitely, you're really at this like crossroads of like finding the right people to align with, finding the people who want the same thing you want. It kind of looks like in your recent past, someone that you connected with was very loving, very kind, um, and there was like quick communication and like a quick pick up and pace of things, but they either didn't want a relationship or they didn't want a relationship with someone like you, or maybe you thought they were single and they weren't. But because they were so loving and there was like a quick pickup of pace of things, you thought it was like meant to be. But like you're really wow, this card's like screaming at me. You're really learning that like the difference between synchronicity, between confirmation bias, and like the difference between just because something is easeful and flows doesn't mean it's meant for you. You know, personal example I've got when I was like in my 20s, I had a relationship. It was peaceful, it was smooth, it was easeful. It just had a natural cadence and a rhythm. But like, you know, a year later, I realized I don't even like the guy. But it just because it just was flowed, I thought it was meant to be. So like you're kind of learning that lesson that it's not just about is it easy? Because even relationships that are the one you're supposed to be in, like sometimes you or the other person can get out of alignment. And relationships are built. It's not like you're supposed to come in from the get-go and be like saying everything right and they're saying everything right, right? That's kind of like childlike, expecting someone to walk into a room and just see and recognize what you need. Instead, it's got to be, hey, like when you bought my lunch the other day, were you trying to help make my day easier? Oh my God, that's so sweet. Thank you. Can I share something else that would actually make my day easier? Lunch is so easy for me to pick up at work, or maybe it's like, you know, lunch actually provides work, but if you would do my laundry the night before so that when I woke up, I had clean, fresh clothes, like that would really help me. Is that doable? So, those are the moments that build a long lasting relationship. It's can you share what you need and do they take action on it? So that's kind of like the big overarching like lesson in love that you're learning, because it looks like in this moment you're definitely recognizing that the thing that picked up quickly and the person looked all loving, that it's like, okay, it's at completion, it's whole. It looks like there was like a little bit of embarrassment on your end about it. And like honestly, the thing that's popping to mind is like that whole kind of Tom Cruise thing. He was 62. Rumors were that he was dating a 25-year-old, but like the 25-year-old took to Instagram stories to say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I have to clarify this. He and I are not dating." Like, what? I can't believe you guys are even thinking that. It's kind of like there's some sort of embarrassment like that way. Maybe you pursue this person in front of other people, or I don't know. But it's like you're recognizing, okay, that's whole and complete. You're kind of like whole and complete on your emotions around it, but it's definitely put you in this spot of like, but wait a second, it seemed easeful. I thought it was synchronicity, and the spirit guides want to say something to you. But Leo, what you're learning is that easeful doesn't always mean synchronicity, right? If you're a gorgeous person, and you are Leo, there's going to be people who are, oh, if he calls me, I will always answer, right? If Elon Musk were to call people, 99% of the time they're going to answer and they're going to want that relationship to work. Does that mean it's in synchronicity? It's letting go of the past and that relationship was so much work. And it's not carrying that past baggage forward. I was in a relationship where it was a lot of work, it was a lot of strife, and I want my next relationship, to feel more easeful, more playful, more uplifting. And I am still willing to put an energy and effort to make things work as long as I see that there is compatibility, there is chemistry. And Leo, for you, we would add, it is time to like grow up. And do we have the same kind of end goal vision in time? The same kind of end goal in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? If we have all of those and I see that they're making effort, I'm in. And I'm willing to ask, hey, the other day you looked a little upset. Or like, hey, you said I could come over, but then when I pointed out there's a book there I can read, it seemed like you clamped up. Did something come up for you? That's what's going to make or break it for you, Leo. Being willing to manage it in the beginning as the foundation of the relationship is taking off. That is effort and energy, but that's the point of a relationship. Two people putting their energy and effort towards one another. And it's also, Leo, about being disappointed that sometimes the other person isn't always going to be able to put their full focus on you. And that is disappointing, but that doesn't mean it's a sign that it's over. It's okay, in this instance, I wanted to hang out with them and they were busy. I feel disappointed. Process the emotion and move on. If that happens 10 out of 10 times, 5 out of 5 times, that's a sign, move on. If it happens once, maybe twice, and then the person comes back around, then that's not a sign. That's the natural ebb and flow in relationships that happen. Another person cannot always have their focus on you. You got to take that expectation off the other person. Wow, Leo, they're coming down on you guys like a little hard. Sorry. Okay, is there anything else in the current moment? Okay, so whatever ending with that recent passionate loving person, it's definitely made you like look back nostalgically on someone else and kind of like recognizing it was better than you thought it was now that you're out of it. It kind of looks like there was just like a lot of pressure around that relationship. And you come into conclusions about what the pressure was about that, quite frankly, this card is just screaming you were wrong. But there was just a lot of pressure the relationship was on. It's almost as if the other person had a lot of pressure in other areas of their life, kind of like getting their business off the ground. I can't believe this read is this specific. This is crazy. You guys are going to have to give me some comments below. Like they were so focused on that they just couldn't give it all to you. And now you're like, you're just looking back going, oh, that was better than I thought it was in the moment. So going into the future, let me pull some clarifying cards on that one. Wow, but it was one of the more balanced relationships of your life where it felt like both people wanted it, both people were contributing. And not only that, but both people were trying to make sure it was win-win for the other person. Yeah, like both people were trying to be considerate of the other person and like, hey, when I canceled the other day, I hope it wasn't personal. Like you've never experienced a partner being that like loving and thinking about how you might feel. It does look like there was quite you guys weren't like this. It looks like there was kind of like a this. Like that would have came in time. That's very clear. And that would have came in time. But because it was like this, you're like, oh, it must not be meant to be. But in reality, it was just the other person had other things, like other ducks they had to get in a row in their life before they could be fully invested in putting all their energy into making a relationship thrive. Okay, so it looks like going to the near future. Well, your disappointed love hasn't worked out. Finding a fulfilling relationship is definitely growing on your priority. And you're kind of recognizing like how boring life is without a relationship. There's really no nice way to say that. If it helps you feel better, Leo, like I'm kind of realizing that right now too. And I'm a Capricorn. I'm like, damn, relationships really make life fun. So love is on your mind. Ace of Water is there. So there's a chance for a revival. Both of you are interested in each other, Leo. That I can tell you. Both of you are interested in each other. I don't see major action cards happening. I don't see them reaching out. I see you open up energetically to the possibility of it, Leo. But just know that whoever like the person two people go, there's still mutual chemistry, compatibility, and attraction between the two of you. It kind of just looks like that the way the foundation was being built, again, the other person, like, one point of their focus was somewhere else. So they weren't able to bring all points of their focus in. They were only able, they weren't able to do this. They were able to come in like this. But it looks like you guys didn't talk about the like foundation of the type of relationship that you wanted. And so like this person was thinking, oh, cool, we're going, like, this is just for example sakes. Like, oh, cool, we're moving slow, we're doing things right. And you were like, no, let's go fast and furious. So there was just like a little bit of a mismatch of what you two thought the approach was on the relationship. So the advice here is if like, I don't even want to say if, I want to say when you two talk again together, it's really just about getting aligned on the pace. Like, hey, like, are you the type of person? Oh, okay, let me just give you like real world example, guys. I've gone on dates with guys who like on date one, or it was date two. Date one, they said, yeah, I am interested in a relationship. Date two, they were like, well, this was a great date. How did you like it? Did you have a good time? Would you want to hang out with me again? Like, well, so everything that I know, it's like that you can decide after 3 dates to be exclusive. Is that like what you think? And that's when I got to share like, oh no, I like to get to know someone over like 6 weeks. 1 date a week spread out. It doesn't have to be a big money. It doesn't even have to be any money. We can go to the park, but I kind of like it spread out so I could have time. It like that conversation never happened between you two. I've also had some people who are like, hey, so I'm all about sex first if it goes well for 3 months. And I'm like, oh, that's not me. I like commitment first. Because it just seems like that whole time you were both trying to move the relationship forward and taking care of each other. But it's like this person was going a little this way and you were like, wait, we should go this way. But if you just can come together, because there can be well, I think it should be 3 months. And you're like, well, I think it should be 2 weeks. Like, is there a third solution? Like, okay, well, I really want 3 months. Here's why. Well, I want 2 weeks. Here's why. Are you flexible at all? If there's a no, then you got the incompatibility that you're incompatible out of the way from the get-go, date one or date two, and you're not wasting any of your time. If anything, you now have clarity, like, universe, give me the person who's ready to move fast, or give me the person who's ready to move slow, whatever. Or it can be okay, I guess I don't necessarily need it to be three months. Maybe I could be fine with like 6 to 8 weeks. But it would be important to me to have these conversations first before anything like sexual happens. And then you could be like, okay, I don't have the answers to all of those. I need some time to think about those, but those are fair enough reasons to like move a little bit slower. Okay, so what if at week 6 we check in, see how we like it, and then at week 8 we can like, here's things I need to like. There's a little bit, Leo, that came out in this energy and this read overall, that those types of conversations are what build a magical relationship. Like, oh my God, we're on the same page. There's a little bit of like juvenile, youthful energy of we're just supposed to kick it and hang out and keep hanging out. Like, let's go to the sports bar every Saturday. That doesn't build a relationship. That builds a friendship. That builds a companionship. That builds an every Saturday hanging out buddy. A relationship is where you also come together to like co-create a life together, where you talk about the future together. And it kind of looks like you were missing that. Or even that initial conversation to get on the same board. Because it definitely, the other person was having a little bit of a hard time relaxing just because they didn't know, like, okay, where are they going with this? What do they want? But all right, I hope that video helped. Leo, give me a comment below, subscribe. I go live for free every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time in my Facebook group, Living in Alignment to Rapidly Manifest, as well as Instagram. Those links are in the bio. And I have a Law of Attraction Synchronization Workshop coming up September 7th. Everyone gets a spot in the hot seat if they want it, and a one-on-one. I'll put the link to that in the comments. Love you all and hope you have a good month. Bye.